Hello everyone, Catch It Easy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my methods on how to get rich and grow a garden. Now there's many different methods that you can choose from. There's a sprinkler method, candy blossom method, and pet method. There's probably many other methods, but those are the ones that come to mind. Now my method is a mix of all, and I combine that all together just to make one major big method. Now if you guys didn't see my last video, score. But if you guys never saw my last video on Grow Garden, I showed you guys my pet method, which is very useful. Now, many people already have their own methods when it comes to earning a lot of shekels. I thought I would share my own, and this main method is using the crafting. Now, a lot of people don't use it, but I use it because there's a lot of mutations that you're able to get from crafting that people don't know about or just don't use. So when you go ahead and look at crafting, you can see there is a lot of stuff that you can craft. You can craft lightning rods, reclaimers, tropical sprinklers, and a bunch of other sprinklers as well. Now, my main things that I like to craft. I'm already stacked up on lightning rods, so I don't need to craft anymore, but those are good to have handy just placed in your farm just in case there's ever lightning. And then another thing that I absolutely love to use is the flower froster sprinkler. Now this freezes flower type plants and lasts for 2.5 minutes. Now, many people will be like, well, I don't really use flowers, but there are two flowers that I have over on my garden, and I'll show you guys this, that I use to get a lot of money because it earns a lot, especially if they're frozen like this. And one is the foxglove and the other is the lilac. This one is almost 1 billion and it's pretty stacked. It's not like max that I haven't really been stacking it as much, but like 3 more mutations and it'll probably hit 1 billion. Now these are like, if I'm lucky, if they're mutated enough, this like entire like stack of them can probably get me about 10 billion shekels, which is already a lot by itself. Now, another major thing to look at is seeing how much a mutation will times your fruit. Now, there are a lot of mutations in game, and there are a lot of mutations that are harder to get, but they are worth it. Now, there's I don't even know, there's probably like 10, probably close to 15 mutations, and a lot of these can be obtained and used by sprays, and those sprays can be crafted. Now, many people will be like, well, which ones can you craft? And I'll go ahead and show you those, because if I am not wrong, there's about 4 sprays that you can craft. So when you look at the crafting tables, you can see that you're able to craft 3 sprays. You can craft the choco spray, the chill spray, and the shocked fruit spray. Now, 2 of these are somewhat easy to obtain. This one's easy if you have flower types, but if you're not using these for flower types, this is very, very useful. This as well if you're not getting any lightning, but it does take a lightning rod to make, so I don't know if you guys would see that useful or if you guys would just rather wait for a lightning storm, which I do recommend waiting for a lightning storm. Now the choco one is pretty useful if you do not have chocolate sprinklers on hand, which is not a lot of people got them, but with the last summer event, a lot of people were able to stack up on chocolate sprinklers, which was very, very useful. Now, the next spray I want to show you guys is over here with the dinosaurs, which is the amber spray. Now, uniquely, the amber spray has 3 levels to it. So the longer you let it sit, the more expensive it will become. Now, behind me is a friend of mine's burning bud, which has old ember, which is the max of the aged ember, which is very, very useful because it will up the price by a lot. When you first apply the amber mutation to your fruit using the spray, you will get the amber effect first, which gives a times 10 multiply to your fruit. When you let it age a little longer, it will then turn into old ember, which will then times your fruit by 20 times. And then when you let it sit for longer, it will turn into ancient ember, which will then times your fruit by times 50. So you're getting more money the longer you wait. Basically, when it comes to wanting to make more in the game, you want to be patient. So the more mutations you get, the more money you're going to make. And another thing I want to recommend you guys is logging on an hour before an update drops. That is how you're going to get rare and unique mutations on your fruits. Trust me, it is worth it. The more mutations, the better. Now, another thing is traveling merchants. Those are pretty useful. At least one of them is useful to me. The other one, I don't need no more gnomes. But the one that's in the hot air balloon is very useful because it has night rods and the blood moon ones, and then also has a special spray as well, which is the cloud touch spray, or the cloud touched spray. Now that is very, very useful if you just trying to, if you have an item on your farm that you're just trying to maximize mutations on. Just having all those sprays and just collecting them and holding on to them is very useful. Do not be afraid to hold on to items. If you don't think an item should like be used or like be sprayed, just hold on to the spray until you have an item that's like, yes, I absolutely want to spray this item. Because there's just items that I'm just letting stack just for fun. Because I have this bendy boo over here that's about 1.7 billion, and it's just been sitting here. Like it's been here for ages. It's just been sitting there. There's just items on your farm you just want to sit there. And I know if you play in public servers, it has a risk of being stolen, but that's why I kind of try to hide stuff so people don't see it. Like the bendy boo is currently out in the open right now, but I'm in a friend's private server, so it's basically safe. But yeah, those are my little routines when it comes to trying to get more cash, get more shekels, letting stuff sit, stacking up on items. And I usually put lightning rods in 4 corners of my farm, not like all the way in the corner, but in like 4 areas of my farm, because that's where I mainly keep most of the plants. So that's how I this one's like kind of off to the side. I put this one in a weird area. I should have put it like more over here in the middle, so these could have gotten more shocked. I think this is shocked. Dang it, it's not shocked. We're gonna ignore that. I'm gonna craft a shock spray for that. The shock spray is actually a little bit useful if there's that one item that's refusing to get shocked and you just need it to be shocked. So yeah, a lot of stuff is useful in its own little way. It's not always going to be your go-to or number one thing. Not everyone's method is going to be, or like not someone's method is going to be your method, but it is useful in like a way, because I've stolen a couple of methods from people. They've been really, really useful. I thank those people a lot. But there's just a couple of methods that are like not my thing, because I either don't have those pets or it's just too much, if you guys get what I mean. But if you don't have those pets, or like the pets that I have, there's always going to be like chances of getting other pets as well. Because if you guys were online a few updates ago, you guys probably got the cooked owl. That's a pet that burns plants. So that's, you're not gonna have everything that like really rich people have, but you will have your own little method of how it goes about things. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any tips and tricks, make sure to leave those down in the comments, and make sure to give them a read. If you guys want to see any more content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on post bell notifications. And if there are any videos that you guys want me to post, leave those suggestions down in the comments below. Anyways, guys, have a good rest of your day, night, or evening. Bye!